Imagine being 65 and full of life, but facing a world that believes your independence is over, or being a housewife your entire life with little education or work experience, and the whole world as you know it gets ripped out from under you. This is the harsh reality that so many elderly people, widows, and divorcees face. We often hear that saying, act your age, but how old do you feel right now? I'll be 40 next year, and I still feel like I'm in my 20s, just a whole lot wiser, of course. But you turn 65, and suddenly the world sees you as less capable, even though you still have so much to offer. You step into a new career in your early 20s, and you give the company the best of your youth. At 65, they tell you you're too old, so they retire you. All your years of experience now deemed irrelevant, forcing you into a mold that does not reflect who you are. What's even worse is that the retirement that you have envisioned does not go according to plan. Your sole purpose was to love that one person, and now they're gone. You didn't have any children, and you find yourself completely alone. My grandmother was a housewife her entire life. After my grandfather passed away, she struggled to keep food on the table. Despite having 5 children, my mom was the only one that was able to take her in. She wasn't your usual kind of granny. She was very quirky. So I remember the one time she was standing around the corner, and as I rode my bicycle past her, she jumped out at me and scared the living daylights out of me. She probably thought it was hysterical. Out of boredom, she probably did this. But boredom often leads to trouble. A few years later, we found her in her cottage. She was sick from mixing tablets and alcohol. She had picked the lock of the liquor cabinet, and we had to send her to the hospital to have her stomach pumped. She was only in her mid-60s, but my parents thought it was safer and better for her to send her to a retirement home. Now, I wasn't a fan of retirement homes, but my mom used to go and visit her often. I went with once or twice, and to my amazement, there amongst the pale and the lifeless were these beautiful women. They were playing poker, their hair still done perfectly, and they wore these beautiful dresses. I thought, how could they be trapped there like this? I look at my parents, and they're nearing 60. And I can't imagine putting them into a home. My mom is still sharp, my dad still fit and strong, and they love going for walks on the beach with the children. So, what is the difference between my parents' 60s and my grandparents? I believe it has a lot to do with staying active, having the right kind of nutrition, and doing things that make you happy. If you keep the mind fit and strong and the body strong, that would change a lot of things for all of us. So I've met a few people in my life who have had all of these challenges, and this prompted me to think, there must be a better way of doing things. Had a chat with my mom about how would she like to experience retirement one day, and she told me that she would like to have her independence, yet the quality care if needed, and this sparked an incredible idea. Let's put the red tape aside for a minute while we dream together. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could create a transition facility, a place where the elderly can get together, they can share their skills and their knowledge with one another, and learn new ones if they wanted to. This place would have communal dining, it would have private units, we could have fancy dress dinners and market days, we could surround them with people and they can build new, meaningful connections. Imagine a skills hub where they get to share their skills and their knowledge with other people. Like Aunt Almarie, who loves to knit, or Claire's dad, who's a retired professor. He gets to be a mentor to others and he gets to share his incredible stories. We could have a vegetable garden where we could grow our own vegetables and we could have them in our kitchen. We could go for weekly sightseeing trips to the aquarium or to the museum or the planetarium. And we could even go to orphanages where they get to be grandparents to children who don't have any. Can you imagine the smiles on their faces? It's about creating an affordable, supportive community, a place where they can generate income using their skills with the support from our team to help them market their talents. It's a place where they can learn and grow and transfer their knowledge, like my friend Inez, who loves to paint, and she loves to share this with the children. We could have this big, beautiful library where they can have storytelling sessions. We could have personal development sessions where they get to share their skills and their knowledge with others. If we can keep their minds fresh, we could keep them going for a very long time. It's about providing a community where they can have their independence, but still have the quality care if needed, like Mrs. Carlack, where she refuses to move out of her home despite her children's advice because of her beloved dogs. Now she can stay in her home and she can have her beautiful dogs with her. Let's create a retirement revival, because the truth is that nobody wants to be alone and everybody deserves to be loved and cared for. We won't be young forever, and it's up to us to change things. I'd love to use my skills in the building service design and my husband's knowledge in the construction industry and our newly found passion for wellness to be able to create this facility and bridge that gap. Let's redefine retirement together.